Hello boys and girls, it's so lovely to be with you today again, you in your lovely house and me in my house. Well, we're going to start off singing our special chocolate bar song because this always cheers us up, doesn't it? Don't forget, get ready to push that button and pull that choke. Twinkle, twinkle, chocolate bar, my daddy drives a rusty car. Push the button, pull the choke, off we go in a cloud of smoke. Twinkle, twinkle, chocolate bar, my daddy drives a rusty car. It's always fun to sing that, isn't it? I love that song. Okay, so boys and girls, we have been learning lots of things about a car and how a car has to have lots of things on it to make it safe. And we looked at a car that had different things on it, and we're going to look again and find out some more things. But before we do, this is a special book that Steve bought because one of our friends has got an old mini car and it's really tiny. When you stand next to it, it's just so small. But in the old days, when you got a car, you got a special manual and it's all got lots and lots of pictures inside, lights, information. This is a picture of what, Steve?
Starter motor.
Starter motor. That's where you need the choke to make it go nicely. And look, lots of interesting pictures. And that's what you used to get when you bought your car. Look, pictures of the different parts, lots of instructions. But boys and girls, our cars today are very complicated and a lot of them are run by little computers. So we'd have to have a very big book indeed, and we'd have to be very computer literate, very clever, to be able to do things on our special car. But isn't that interesting? So long ago, people would have a new car and a new book at the same time. Thought that was really interesting. Okay, my little sweethearts, now we've been looking at Sue's lovely picture. And we've talked about some of the things that she's got on here. And one is the exhaust. And then we learnt that the exhaust is very important for taking all the fumes out of the motor, underneath the car and away from us. Now there's some other things we need to talk about too. We talked about the steering wheel. The steering wheel is just over there. But we talked about the windscreen wipers and how they wipe away the water. And remember the story of Stephen and I getting caught in a storm and we couldn't drive. The rain was so hard and the Utes windscreen wipers were not clearing the water off our window. You probably have seen your mummy or daddy putting some things in a little bottle inside the under the bonnet, and that squirts up special fluid that makes those blades move easier and makes the windscreen look nice and crystal clear. Very important. So we've talked about the windscreen wipers, we've talked about the steering wheel being very important, we've talked about the exhaust, and we even talked about the chokes on very old vintage cars. We don't need them now because there's an automatic choke. That's the car's so clever that it can work out how much air, how much fuel the car needs to start. Now there's some other things on this little car that are very important, and the most important one of these is there's a little mirror on the side of the car. Now that mirror or those mirrors are very important when mummy or daddy or whoever's driving a car need to check who's behind them, or if they're turning, someone might be there, or if they want to overtake, so they need to be able to look in that mirror. And also they have a mirror inside the car there to check where, if things are all right, if they're not, the car behind is just doing exactly what it should, or if they're going to turn, whether they have to be mindful that there's someone behind them or even someone beside them if they're on the motorway. So mirrors are very important in a car. And also the wheels are very important. And I wonder if you can think what would happen if the tyre on the wheel went flat. Have you had that happen to one of your cars, or a car that you've been in? Well, the car goes a little bit, but not very well. More ka-dup, 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 if that tyre goes down. So it's very, very important to have safe tyres, because it's the tyres that grip the road. And I know Steve the builder always says to me, you've got to have good tyres to grip the road, and if you have very old tyres, they're not very safe. So look, there's so many things on a little car that are very, very important. And when you go and get it checked, some of you will go with your mummy and daddy when you go to the special stations that check your car, and they check all those things, and they have a big list and they tick them off. Yes, the mirrors are good. Yes, the windscreen wipers are good. Yes, the tyres look nice and new, and all those things are ticked off. And then your mummy or daddy will get a little wee piece of paper. When you're next in the car, have a look, and it's a little wee piece of paper, and it's got a number on it. And it says that your car is safe to drive for those many months. Really, really special. Now, I just wanted to show you this truck too, because this truck also has all those things. It needs windscreen wipers. I don't know if you can see the little windscreen wipers drawn on the truck. And it needs lots and lots of safe tyres. It needs that exhaust that we talked about to take all the poisonous gases away, but it also needs huge mirrors. And the mirrors are usually popping out past the truck. Now, I wonder why they are popping out. Do you think it might be because the truck's so big? I think you are very clever, because that is the reason. If that mirror was right in here, the truck driver wouldn't be able to see who's behind him. If he wants to pull out, he needs to be able to see in this mirror if a car's coming along this side. So he really needs a big mirror. Plus, if he's backing, beep, 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 he needs to be able to look into those mirrors as well as the mirror inside to check that he doesn't go crashing into something important, or anything really, because he's got such a big tray here. So isn't that interesting? So still the same things, whether they're on trucks, whether they're on utes, whether they're on cars, everything's the same. You need mirrors, you need an exhaust, you need a bonnet that you can lift up and look at your motor.
He's got a big radiator.
And a big radiator. Look at that size radiator compared with the picture of the little car. So radiators are very important, aren't they, Steve?
Keep the engine cool.
Yes, we want to keep the engine. If it got to sometimes in storybooks we read about engines getting overheated and lots of smoke comes out.
Or steam.
Steam, which is steam is from the hot water boiling over because the engine has got so hot. So isn't that interesting? So
truck carries a spare wheel on the side.
Ah, does it? Look, so this is how important tyres are. So if this big truck, one of the tyres pop or start to go down, they have to take a spare one just in case to put on. Goodness, you'd have to have lots of tyres to run a truck like this, wouldn't you? How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a spare one. Goodness me.
Plus the back one's a double.
Oh, the back one's a double, my goodness. 1, oh, we better hold it up like this so everyone can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and the little extra one, 11 wheels on our beautiful big truck. My goodness, that would cost lots of money to replace all those and keep them brand new. Right, so isn't that interesting, my little lovelies? Now we're going to sing a new song that we learnt yesterday, and I wonder if you can remember. It's such a tricky word, but it's a fun word to say. The word that we use when we just use words that sound exactly how they're spelt or how you sound them. So they are. So if you've got a big beep, it's B-E-E-P. Beep, that's how it's written, and you say beep, and that's exactly the sound that a little horn does. So isn't that amazing? These words are, I wonder if you can remember. I know some of our big people might be able to. Onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia. And onomatopoeia words are the most wonderful words because they sound exactly what they are. So if they're a horn going beep, that's what the horn does. If something falls and goes bang, that's how you write bang, and it sounds exactly like that. But the best word, which we talked about last time, is zoom, because you go zoom, and that's written, it's a proper word. It's written with a Z and an O and an O and an M, but it is an onomatopoeia word because it sounds exactly how it's spelt. Now we've got a really fun song to sing, and that song is about a hunk of tin, and I think it might be an old car, as I said before, but you might be able to think of something. It might be an old truck. Have a think. But it does say it's got 4 wheels, so will it be a motorbike? Don't think so. Anyway, join with me. I'm a little hunk of tin. Nobody knows what shape I'm in. I've got 4 wheels and a running board. I ain't no Chevy and I ain't no Ford. Honk, honk, rattle, 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 crash, crash, beep, beep. Did you hear all those beautiful onomatopoeia words? Shall we do it again? And when you get to them, you make a big loud noise. Honk, honk. And I didn't actually have that written on my special onomatopoeia list, but honk, honk is a wonderful word because it's that big horn, but it's not going beep, beep. Cars go beep, beep. That little mini that I showed you on here would go beep, beep. But a big hunk of tin goes honk, honk. Isn't that interesting? I'm a little hunk of tin. Nobody knows what shape I'm in. I've got 4 wheels and a running board. I ain't no Chevy and I ain't no Ford. Honk, honk, rattle, 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 crash, crash, beep, beep. Isn't that fun? I think they're the most wonderful words, and lots of poets use those because they sound so wonderful when you sing them or say them. Okay, my little sweethearts, now I just want to find a little piece of paper because I want to just thank some people that have been sending us photos. Lovely Evie, it was so wonderful to see the picture of your drawn car that you sent to Marianne. Keep up the good work. It's such a clever thing to do. Boys and girls, that's a lovely thing. If you send them to Marianne, she sends them on to all the teachers and we all have a big look. We've got lovely little Amelie, and Amelie has been doing so many things. Goodness, it would be fun to be at her house. She's made with her brothers shell numbers, and she's done a beautiful collage owl made of all leaves and things that they've gathered and foraged. Beautiful idea. And lots of lovely walking and talking with her brothers out in the sunshine. But it's been a bit rainy, but I hear there's going to be some lovely fine spells between the rain. So let's get outside and get some fresh air. Anyway, until Monday, have the most wonderful weekend. Be the best children ever for your gorgeous mummy and daddy. And love you lots. Take care.